John Hall. I teach at Western Kentucky University and been there about 8 years now. And I travel around, and my research takes me to a lot of different parts of the world. And so I try to mountain bike and mountain climb and paraglide and do other things while I'm in those places. Figure if you enjoy what you're doing, you work at it more seriously. And in the long run, do it longer with more passion. I was lucky because I've had two good scout troops. First of all, when I was a Cub Scout, in one part of one area that I lived with my folks, we used to do all of the different skills like wilderness survival and fire starting with no matches and all those things. And then when I became a Boy Scout in a different area, we were very focused on the sort of backpacking and getting out and experiencing as much as life as possible. And that's when I first did my first rappel and first rock climb, and a lot of the really big things that really have made me better prepared to go out and climb mountains and everything else. And that was a nice thing. I lived in Athens, Georgia, and so we were close enough to the Appalachian Trail and to the mountains so that we could go once a month and go backpacking and carry big heavy loads. And it was great because we would go in the summer and we would go in the winter. So ice storms or sweating and swimming in the river, you sort of got to experience everything, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Things I really, really remember, and that's why I feel like I owe a lot to scouting because of those great memories. I think it's just a way of being prepared and not being scared. I mean, when you go out into the woods for the first time to go camping by yourself, or when you learn wilderness survival or whatever, it teaches you to be self-reliant and prepared to do things. And so if the idea of going to teach in the fall by yourself is not nearly as intimidating as it would be in other ways. And that, along with being prepared and all of the sort of being well-rounded, I guess, is, in terms of actual goals, scouting doesn't provide you with the goals so much as the way of surviving and living life that, helps you live to the fullest. I wanted to take a year and study some part of the world to gather a bunch of data and further my research. And I searched around the world trying to decide where I wanted to go, and I thought about the Andes and the Alps, and I could have gone to Africa. I actually went to Africa a little before, but the Himalayas are the place that provide water for 2 million people in India and China, and are also seeing a lot of changes with global climate change. So I wanted to go and study that. And so I went there for a year, and while I was there, I would take groups of Nepali graduate students out and show them how to collect vegetation data and climate change data on glaciers and so forth, how to do interviews with people. And over the course of that time spent traveling with those students, we interacted a lot with climbers and wilderness guides and other people as well, resource managers basically in these parks. And that's how I learned or how I met them. And then when the opportunity arose to climb Everest, I, of course, grabbed a hold of it because it's always been my dream, so I had to do it. You take a step and rest. You take a step and rest. When you're crossing a crevasse, you sort of go and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and then you have to sit and rest for 3 minutes. The biggest danger really is that your mind's not working right. I tell people it's like you're sleep deprived, or you're drunk, or you're whatever euphemism you want to use. Your mind just doesn't work right. I think that's pretty much my goal right now. I've been wrestling back and forth with what is my goal, because once you've done the top of the world, it's all downhill, I guess. And I gave it a lot of thought over this Thanksgiving and everything, and I'm pretty much looking at trying to do Denali and then Kilimanjaro, and kind of go from there and see if that makes sense. But that's one of the things you learn, and I guess you learn in scouting, is to be flexible. If I find something else that really fires my imagination, then I'll try and do that as well. But yeah, for younger kids, it's all about having fun, and you know, there's TV and there's video games and there's so many other things that are distractions. But you know, we, as a species, as a people, have evolved to living outside and doing things outside, and so just get out there and enjoy it. Don't. Cell phones are not life, and video games certainly aren't life. So enjoy the outdoors, because you know, when you've got a job and everything else and you're sitting in front of a laptop working every day, you'll get plenty of computer time. So enjoy the outdoors now. I don't know if that's what you guys want to hear, but
Can we go? Because my toes are getting cold.